What's good, everybody? This is Charles from Team COG coming at you guys with another Infernoble combo tutorial today. And today I got to show you guys something very unique, very interesting. Some people have asked, well, what happens if you opened like both of your normal summons? Back in the day when we had connector, it was always you just normal summon connector. You never did like YuGiOh and stuff like that. But now we have a confliction to where like we can't just like pitch cards from our hand and stuff like that. And some people have been like, well, which one do you normally go for? If you have, normally you just go for Uppercutter, right? Well, actually you can go for YuGiOh because now we have access to use both these cards in the same sequence without using two normal summons. And before you get into it and ask if this is Super Heavy Samurai, this is not. I really do not like that engine. I understand the benefits and the pluses and the pros of that engine. That engine lets you do like a pendulum summon, which is really cool, but that's just, you know, it's not for me. I would much rather not play all those like non-engine and just stuff like that. I don't care, personally, how big of a board it gives you. The deck is able to put up some substantial boards without it, and that's just how I've always been. Minimalistic, I guess, at heart. But if you guys have been using Super Heavy Samurai stuff and you guys enjoy it, keep on keeping on, right? But anyway, we're going to showcase you guys what these two cards do. Your opening hand is these. You have 3 cards in hand. And additional to these, and the ending, there's like a pivotal point in the combo where you can change and you can do things differently. But I will show you like the inboard I choose to go for and the inboard that you could go for, and I am still currently missing some cards like a Heroic Champion Gandeva, which is a rank 4 warrior that allows you to negate the special summon of a level 4 monster that you could potentially end on as well, and just things like that. But please remember, if you guys enjoy this type of content, enjoy this type of thing, go down below, hit that subscribe button, ding that notification bell, and hit that join button, become knighted, and help support the channel directly. So you know when we go live and when we live stream and stuff like that, we are always there. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and start out with the combo. So to start out, guys, the first thing you're going to do is you're actually going to normal summon your Infernoble Knight YuGiOh. YuGiOh is the normal summon of choice because it's going to allow you to send from your deck to the graveyard your Infernoble Knight Ricardetto. Now, if you guys don't know what Ricardetto does, Ricardetto allows you to banish it from hand or graveyard to be able to special summon from your hand a level 4 or lower fire warrior, and it becomes treated as a tuner. So you're going to go ahead and special summon out Uppercutter. Uppercutter's effect on summon is going to go ahead and grab you the Spar. You're just going to go ahead and special summon out the Spar because we control a Battle Boxer. And this is where the sequencing can actually go different. If you choose to overlay Battle Boxer Spar plus YuGiOh, you can end on Charles with 3 disruptions and a Lavalval Extra Lord. But then if you actually just overlay Uppercutter and Spar, you can end on Gandeva with Charles and or like SP Little Knight. No matter what, you can always end on SP Little Knight through these combo sequences. It's just you don't get to utilize all your resources properly, and Little Knight, as good as it is, it's easy to beat over, especially since our inboards are not as big as they once was. You need to kind of have your disruptions stick. It just kind of sucks if they just go battle phase and whack over Little Knight, and then you have to hope that Charles can hold the line. And sometimes he can, sometimes he can't. So you'd just rather play it safe. But anyway, I'll showcase you guys the combo sequence of where you get to the Lavalval Extra Lord here. So you go ahead and overlay here for your Battle Boxer Dempsey. Dempsey's effect will go ahead and grab you Renault. You then go ahead and use Battle Boxer's effect, detaching the Spar to go to the graveyard, and then you go ahead and special summon out the Renault. Renault will add back the Spar, and then you special summon out the Spar again, because that is not a once per turn. This is one of the things that the Battle Boxer engine had, I think, going for its effect. You can abuse Spar multiple times. But we go ahead and synchro here for Angelica. We go ahead and use Angelica's effect to go ahead and grab the field spell. Once we grab the field spell, we go ahead and activate it over here. We'll go ahead and activate the field spell, paying 12 to go ahead and grab us Durandal. We'll go ahead and equip Durandal to any of our 3 monsters, go ahead and use it to add ourselves Roland, and then we'll go ahead and activate Roland targeting Angelica. Now here's a very interesting note to put in through this combo sequence is if they in-perm or stop Angelica from being able to leave the field, you can still make Charles. We still have the ability to hard make Charles, and that is something that is better than nothing, I'd say. But do keep that in mind. So anyway, Roland target Angelica. Angelica will actually use her ability to send Turpin, and then you go ahead and banish herself, and Roland will go to the graveyard. And then you get to summon out X-Deck Roland. So right here, we go ahead and we use Turpin's effect in the grave to go ahead and attach itself to Roland. Or I guess it could be, it doesn't matter who you attach it to, so, because yeah, it doesn't have to. Then we go ahead and use Museum's effect to special summon it, and then we get to go ahead and synchro here for our boy Chuck, the Infernoble Emperor Charles. We'll then use Roland's effect to attach itself to Charles, and then we link off here into our Emperor Charlemagne. Charlemagne will then attach Charles, and then you use Turpin's effect in the graveyard to special summon itself. Once here, we can synchro summon because since Uppercutter was used by Ricardetto, it's a tuner, and we get to go ahead and make our Lavalval Extra Lord. We then move to the end phase, and end phase Angelica will return, and then we get to use the Roland's effect in graveyard to go ahead and add herself the Angel Ring, and then Charles' effect will allow you to equip Angel Ring from hand or graveyard, and then attach Oliver from deck. Now, you could potentially attach Malgus here if you wanted to, and then like Charles destroy Malgus and draw cards, then your ending board, your ending hand is 4 cards. So like, depending on what the type of disruptions you have and everything like that, it's entirely up to you. But this is what 2 cards get you. And again, when I look at what combo sequences and combos do, if I put 2 cards in, I need to end on equal to or more disruptions that I get out of it. So 2 cards went in. Technically, we could end on, technically with the Malgus, we'd get a draw, right? So like, it'd be like we only put 1 card into the entire combo in a way, but technically we are ending on 3-4 forms of disruption. So we end up doubling the amount of cards that we put into it. Now I will go ahead and I'll showcase you guys the other combo line, which ends on with Gandava, but this time it ends with a bigger and badder Charles for sure. So let's go ahead and go to that sequence. Okay guys, so here we are, right here. Same thing, normal Ogier, send the Ricardetto, which I think send Ricardetto, banish Ricardetto, summon out the uppercutter, add the spar, special the spar. So we're all here now, we're all caught up. So before, remember, we overlaid these 2, now we're just gonna go ahead and overlay these 2, and we're just gonna kind of, let's go ahead and play our zones a little bit. It doesn't really, the zones don't really matter unless you open like additional extenders, like another museum. Like if you add museum into this combo sequence, you get to double Charles, which is really cool. So anyway, Dempsey's effect will go ahead and add us Renault, and then you go ahead and detach the spar, special summon out the Renault, grab back the spar, and we can go ahead and synchro summon here for Angelica. Angelica will grab us the museum, and then we can go ahead and use activate the museum, use museum's effect to go ahead and pay 12 to grab Dirndl. We can use Dirndl's effect to go ahead and grab us Roland. We can go Roland, target the Angelica to go ahead and send Turpin. This will banish herself. Roland falls off, and we go into extra deck Roland. Now, what we can do is we can go ahead and activate Turpin's effect, target the Roland to equip itself. We'll use the field spell's effect to move up Roland, or remove up Turpin, synchro summon into Charles. And then we use Roland's effect to attach to Charles, link off here into Big Charles, effectively Charles to attach. We then special summon out Turpin because we control a monster with an equip spell. And then we can special summon out the Spar. Now again, right here, you can, let me fix this, it's gonna drive me nuts. There we go. You can technically make IP right here, but then like you just have this Turpin that's hanging out here, so you're not really utilizing your resources to the best way. And even in the other combo, you could have made SP, but you're not utilizing it. I wish Dempsey did a little bit more than just sit here and hung out, but it is still like a body and like a follow-up for the next turn. And it is a big issue. It is like a 2800 monster. So right here, guys, you can go ahead and overlay here for Gandava. So I'll go ahead and put Gandava up here on the screen. And then during the end phase, Angelica will return. You get to, actually, hold up. We actually forgot one of the most important things. Since you haven't had to use it yet, you couldn't use it before because it was underneath the Dempsey, you go ahead and use all Ogier to attach here. And then you move to the end phase. Angelica comes back. Roland grabs you Angel Ring. Charles will equip the Angel Ring and then equip Oliver. And again, in any one of these sequences, you can trade out the Oliver for Malgus and get an additional draw. But this is your end board. The same number of disruptions, but except for then this type of scenario, Charles is a little bit beefier. He cannot be targeted or destroyed, which is pretty good. Again, since we've lost a lot of like our bigger ending boards where we end on like multiple Charleses consistently, our one Charles just kind of has to stay. And something to note too, if you're going to those important games 3, you can cite in such things as Dust on Mop and everything, so that way like they can't tribute over the Charles, they can't super poly off the Charles. It's just entirely up to you and like what your locals and what you believe and like what the format turns into. But anyway, yeah, this is it for this combo sequence. I hope you guys enjoy this. Hopefully this gives you guys some more ideas that you can do in certain scenarios, because I know sometimes when you see 2 cards such as Ogier and the Uppercutter, you can kind of get like, well, this sucks, you know, I got to use one or the other, and then it just kind of turns you away. But it's interesting to see that even if you open both normal summons, you're still able to put up a board and stuff like that. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Comment down below any combos that you guys have figured out and found out. We're all about building the community and helping each other out. So, but this is Charles from Team COG, signing out.